Hey guys, so I appreciate it's been a while since I've filmed anything. Today I want to film my first trimester 0 to 12 week kind of pregnancy update. I have tried to film this for the last couple of weekends and I've either just not really been happy with the way it turned out or just not really in the mood. It is quite strange to, you know, to pick up a camera and film yourself. But I think I've just been so busy that I've not really been naturally doing it anyway, so it's being a bit more forced, and so I don't necessarily feel like it's natural anymore. So I'm going to try and get back into the swing of this. I've got some notes from the last 12 weeks to kind of share with you today, so here we go. I'm really sorry if you can hear the wind in the background. It is a crazy Arctic wind storm outside, typical Icelandic winter weather, and I am looking incredibly pale. First off, I just want to say a massive thank you for the comments and encouragement and support and all of the congratulations that you gave us in our announcement video. It was just amazing to read through them and get to kind of message you back and hear your stories. It's been really fun to connect with you all, and hopefully that can kind of continue and we can have a bit of a conversation. And if any of you are also pregnant or have just had a kid, then please message, because it is really nice to be in touch with you, because I feel very much on my own in this situation up here in Iceland, where I don't necessarily know a lot of people, and so meeting other people, even if it's just virtually, is really fun to talk about your bump and your crazy hormones and whatever else is happening to you. So thank you very much for the comments on the last video, and please keep them coming. Okay, so 0 to 4 weeks. We're just going to round up over a whole month there. In that time, we had probably had one of the more sociable times in Iceland. We were out quite a lot. We had a lot of parties, we had a lot going on, so I guess we were a bit more relaxed, and so it just all happened very naturally. It's kind of a bit embarrassing to talk about that. So over those 4 weeks, I'd kind of noticed a few changes in my body. The first one was that I genuinely felt every single day like someone had punched me in both of my boobs. It was so incredibly uncomfortable, and that was pretty much the only sign that I really had that something was maybe not usual or normal. I feel for anyone who's going through morning sickness right now. I have been so incredibly lucky in this pregnancy that I have not really suffered from morning sickness. I completely agree. I don't know why it's called morning sickness, because it doesn't happen in the morning, or it happens in the morning and then continues all day long. My morning sickness usually started in the evening, and I just felt really sick pretty much all night long and was never actually sick, so I was quite lucky to have that. But I've not really had too much morning sickness. My sister had a lot. I have 2 other friends right now that are also pregnant, and they are seriously suffering with it. And I don't know, every single pregnancy is so different. It is really amazing when you start to talk to other people about their pregnancy and what's happening to them at different weeks. It's so different. You just can't really compare one to the next. It's really interesting. So around about the week 4, week 5 mark, I was kind of thinking, what if I am pregnant? Maybe I am pregnant. This is cool. And I was kind of daydreaming and like rubbing my tummy and thinking about having a kid, but at the same time I was also really scared. And this is, I guess, a very personal thing. There will be a whole load of different people who feel different emotions about falling pregnant. To me, and to maybe a lot of young girls, I mean, I'm in my mid-30s, so I'm not young, but I was still pretty scared of a positive pregnancy test. I think you spend so many years of your life or your relationships that you're kind of focused on like being safe and making sure you don't fall pregnant and just taking precautions, that you spend so long and so much time in your mind making sure that you're not going to be pregnant that you end up almost getting to a point where you're ready and it's okay if you fall pregnant and you're even trying for that, and when you fall pregnant you're kind of a bit confused in your head how to feel. And it does sound really weird because obviously I'm very grateful this has happened and we feel very blessed and lucky that it happened so quickly, but I think it was just such a shock for me because I wasn't fully prepared for a positive result. And it did take me a while to for that to sink in and for me to be excited about it. And I think that really confused Ingimar because he was just really excited and I was just didn't really know how to feel, and then felt everything. But obviously it is all sunk in now and we're very excited and looking forward to everything. So the way that we actually found out was we did a home pregnancy test. I sent Ingimar off to the pharmacy to buy a couple of tests just in case we needed to take more than one, which was a good job because I took the first test and I went back into the bathroom and checked it and there was no result. It was a false result, so it didn't actually take. And it kind of made me more nervous. So I decided to wait a couple more hours, and then later that night we took a second test. And I said to Ingimar that I couldn't do it. I couldn't actually look at the results. This sounds so immature and hilarious, but I decided that I would pee into a cup and then leave him that present in the bathroom and that he had to do the test. So that's what we did, and hilariously he had to go into the bathroom and do the test for me. So it was very much a shared experience, and then he brought through the test to show me, and that's when all the emotions started. So the next day we phoned the doctor so that we could, you know, make an appointment with the midwife and kind of get things started. I don't know if this is a cultural thing or if this is normal at all, I'm not sure. But it was quite shocking to me that the first thing we were asked was, did we want to keep the child? Which to me, I guess, is a completely practical thing that they would ask. But it was almost another level of emotions that I just didn't want to handle. I didn't want to deal with. I just wanted, I almost wanted a congratulations, but obviously they weren't going to say that. So I just let Ingimar deal with everything in Icelandic, and we made an appointment to see the midwife. So we had our midwife appointment, and that was a long appointment. They're very thorough in kind of discussing lots of things with you. So she asked about my personal history, relationships and so on. She asked about us, she talked about my family, health and history. She took a lot of tests, lots of blood tests, blood pressure, urine sample, all that kind of thing. They also weigh you, and that is said out loud, so there's no more hiding that. But yeah, we talked about a lot of things. It felt a little bit more like a therapy session. I don't know if this is maybe how it actually was meant to be, but emotional, hormonal Sonia was definitely brought to tears on occasion. So it felt quite intense. For those of you who maybe haven't watched the videos prior to this, I'll bring you up to speed really quickly, but we fell pregnant, and then within a week or two of us getting the happy news, Ingimar was unfortunately made redundant. Right now, week 12, he has had a number of interviews, second interviews, and even a third interview, and we're still waiting to hear some news on all of those jobs. So it is a difficult time, it is quite stressful, and that has put a bit of a strain on us, although we're trying to stay optimistic and positive as much as we can. It is not the best time of year because it's winter, it's dark pretty much all the time. I've not been the easiest to live with, and our situation is pretty hard to be dealing with as well. But I'm sure a lot of people go through lots of different things, and life is not like being in the movies. It is not perfect, and so we just take every day as it comes and just face all of the challenges. So around week 6, I managed to get a job and started that job. So everything was kind of going very, very quickly, and we were dealing with Ingimar's situation. We were dealing with the fact I was starting a new job, I was dealing with layout lines and everything that was still going on with that, getting orders and commissions out and trying to slow things down so that I could concentrate on the full-time job, and get up in the morning and not feel bleh, basically, from being pregnant. So week 7 is when we had our, I think they call it like a confirmation scan. So they basically confirm that you definitely have a fetus with a heartbeat. I had an internal scan, so again, not like the movies where it's this gentle, you know, scan across your tummy. It is a little bit invasive. It's really not too much of a big deal, but it is a bit uncomfortable. But the reward is that you get to see a little heartbeat in a blur on the screen, and it really is the most emotional, confirming point in all of this, because there's a child there, your child, and you can't see them, you can't really feel them, but they are in there. And it's really, really exciting and one of the happier points of your pregnancy so far. So the doctor that performed the scan was such a lovely guy. He spoke to us and kind of reassured us and said it'll all work out. You know, these things happen and they're sent to challenge us or whatever. And he just had a really positive vibe about him, and it really made me feel reassured, which didn't last a huge amount of time, but I was so grateful for that moment. So his advice was to start on vitamins straight away. So we went to the pharmacy and got folic acid and vitamin D tablets. The folic acid was like a glass bottle with an Icelandic label on it that was very clear and said meat baron or not. Oh, that's dreadful. Sorry, that's probably not anything like you're supposed to pronounce it. But it basically means with child. So to have that lying out on the kitchen cabinet with the other vitamins would have been very unsubtle. I downloaded the pregnancy app, Pregnancy Plus, and put in all the details for the date and everything, and have been kind of reading through that ever since. We've not done a huge amount of research, and I think we'll probably have like a panic stage at some point, but right now just going on the app and watching a load of YouTube videos. And we do have a book that I got from my sister, so Ingimar has started to look through that. I was going to say we'll have plenty of time, but I think it will just fly by, so I'll get onto that sometime soon. So moving on to the, well, not really side effects, but symptoms of pregnancy. First one, most commonly, is morning sickness, which does not last in the morning, it lasts throughout the entire day. I've only really had a little bit of that. I think I've probably been sick twice. Once was when I was doing my shoes up and I stood up too quickly and my breakfast just came back up. TMI. And the second time, oh yeah, doing your teeth whilst pregnant is probably similar to putting your fingers down your throat or something. You just want to be sick every time you do your teeth. It's horrible. But the next thing that I've really been suffering with, which is kind of something that I suffer with anyway, is seriously blocked sinuses. I have had, I don't know, maybe about 8 weeks now where I just could not breathe through my nose. And so I would wake up in the morning with a really dry throat because I couldn't breathe through my nose, and just not really being able to speak because I just sound like a congested crazy person. Now I have moved on slightly from the blocked nose to having nosebleeds. I get kind of pinpoint headaches across my forehead, which just last and last and last. I do also get some migraine type headaches across my eyelids. I think it's just a case of get in a dark room and sleep as much as you can, but when you need to be out in an office, then it's quite hard. So the one thing that I have been taking now is magnesium. So magnesium tablet in a glass of water, and I take that kind of in the evening or an hour before I go to bed, and that helps with headaches and also absorbing the vitamins more, and I think it helps with mood swings. I do sound like I'm a crazy hormonal woman. I'm really not that bad, and hopefully Ingimar agrees, and I do cringe when I say that though. But I think our situation isn't necessarily normal, and so there is a little bit more tension and pressure and stress there at the moment, so I am sorry, Ingimar. The other thing is, I don't really know how to word this. Obviously I am growing a human inside of me. I am bound to gain weight and have a bump at some point soon. I don't have a bump right now, I just look like I've gained a bit of weight, and that feels a little bit awkward, and it is strange to step on the scales and know you've been eating really well, because I'm making a big effort to eat a really healthy diet and drink a lot of water, and so I'm trying really hard, but then you go on the scales and your weight's either stayed the same or gone up slightly, and I am fully aware that that is a good sign and it's good to do, but it is quite hard when you've always kind of had that in your mind to watch your weight and eat carefully and all of that kind of thing. It's just another change, isn't it? So yeah, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see little changes, and your hips and your thighs and your tummy and your boobs are all getting a little bit bigger, you do kind of have to just think positively, remember why, and realise that it's all a good thing and it's healthy. Another great part of being pregnant is getting to share the news with people. The first thing I would have expected that I would do would maybe be to phone my mum and phone my sister and my brother. But actually the way it all turned out was that my best friend was visiting, and she one night was asking me about roller derby and when I was going to go to practice, and I just couldn't keep a straight face and it kind of all came out. So I ended up telling her a few weeks before I actually told my mum, because she was here and she could read across my face that something was up, and she pretty much knew exactly what it was, so it all came out. But it was really fun to get to share with someone and actually be able to talk about it with someone else finally. Yeah, so that was really, really fun. But yes, my mum and her partner, my sister, Ingimar actually told my brother. But yeah, getting to tell the family is a really, really nice thing to do. The only person we got to tell in person was Ingimar's sister when she came over with her son, and we showed the 7-week scan to her, this little blurb. So yeah, it's been really fun to share it with people. The next time that I got to share it as well was when I flew over to Hamburg and was with all of my friends from India, and we had gone out to a Christmas market and we were all going for some mulled wine. You know, we were walking up to this market and I was thinking, at what point am I gonna say, when is it gonna come out? So I was looking for the perfect opportunity, and I just grabbed their hands right before we went into the market and I said, got something to tell you, can't have any of this wine, gonna have to have the kids first in. Yeah, so it was really exciting to get to share it with them and just kind of be away and be all relaxed and feel all Christmassy and happy and cheers to the good news. So then we had Christmas and New Year over here. We had quite a quiet New Year because I was just feeling very out of it, very, very tired. I have definitely gone to bed on occasion at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. But I now have this built-in internal alarm clock that wakes me at 6 o'clock in the morning, absolutely starving and ready for porridge. Can't quite remember the dates. I have it in my diary. I've kept all of this in a very organised OCD form. Right after Christmas we went for the 12-week scan. So we were booked in at the hospital, and we had our 12-week scan there, and we also had, I'm not quite sure what it's called, maybe the harmony test or something like that, where they check for any abnormalities, and they do this by the scan. They check the width or the thickness of the neck bone within the scan, and then they also take blood tests as well. Everything came back completely normal, so that is great. My results have been normal across the board, which is fantastic and all good signs. And then came the next exciting thing, and that was telling you guys. So we had filmed at Christmas time. I took a little while to edit it all together, and then we uploaded it and shared it with the world. I never really thought I would be the type of person that would sit down in front of a camera and talk about my life and share my life with people that I do not know. But it is quite a nice thing to do, because it's almost like a kind of counselling, I guess. Even just talking to myself, talking to the picture on the screen above. But knowing that there are people that view this and that you actually comment and interact with me makes it so much more real. And so especially when it's very personal things like this, I mean, I'm talking about pregnancy, talking about an unborn child, and that has so many worries that come along with it, but it is also really nice to share that with you guys. And that might sound really strange because I don't really know who you are, but when you comment and when you send me messages and emails and stuff, you know, DMs over on Instagram, it is so much nicer to connect with you all, and then you don't feel as alone, because I'm obviously not in my home country, I'm not near my friends and family, I don't know a huge amount of people here. Some of the appointments are done in English, and some of that English can be a little bit difficult to follow. I'm obviously very grateful that the midwife will speak to me in English and the doctor speaks to me in English and so on. But there have been some phrases. For example, we went for one of the scans, must have been the 12-week scan, and the doctor that did the scan said that she couldn't find a heartbeat. And I just thought, that is not what you mean to say. You mean that maybe the baby is moving around too quickly, because I can see it's moving, it's okay. So yeah, there's a few things that you have to just calmly wait and try and understand. So what I'm trying to say, without going on for too long, is that I am very grateful to have you guys and to be able to actually sit down and talk to you all and to get to share this with you, and hopefully it helps some of you too, because we're not all in a perfect ideal situation where everything is rosy and everyone has jobs and you don't have to worry about stuff. So yeah, I wanted to sit down and share what the last couple of months has been like and kind of just catch you up on everything. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I will try to make sure that I film more and upload it relatively soon. If there is anything you want to know, or if you want to say anything to me, positive more than negative, then stick a comment down below. Please subscribe so that you are following the videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!